Welcome to the Clutch Corner. Everybody, I'm your host, Roy A. Shepherd, and I'm joined today by my guy Toine and my guy Kendal. But fuck these guys, okay? Because in the background, joining us today, we have a very special guest. This is somebody who I started streaming with when I first started doing this shit. She's one of my best friends in this space. I still talk to my dog every day. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one of the panelists of the Hangover Time post game show on Miami Heat Beat. My motherfucking dog, Tiffany Meeks. Tiffany,
What's
Yeah.
up?
my
What's
girl,
up?
let's have
What's
it.
up?
Let's
What
have it.
it
Happy to
do?
be
What
here.
the
Happy to be here,
business?
guys.
I
Happy to be
appreciate you
here.
for coming on. Appreciate you for coming on. So,
joining us.
Thank you.
as you
Thank
guys can see, we have a panel of a specific hue out here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The melanin is popping today on the Clutch Corner. This is our Black
Excellence,
History Month
excellence.
episode. Yeah, Black excellence. You feel me?
It came early.
So before we get started with all the regular talk, how's everybody feeling today? Twan, how you feeling?
Hey, I mean, we good. We got a whole lot of melanin in here. Got me feeling real comfortable. So,
Yes, indeed.
hey, I'm happy to be here. Happy to talk some hoops, bro.
Man, we looking like triplets in this bitch too with these shirts on. You
That's
feel
it.
me?
You feel me?
You feel me?
We-
Turncoated.
bro, We up in here looking like an episode of the Boondocks.
You feel me? You feel me? Kendall, how you feeling today, brother?
Oh, I'm feeling good, man. Basketball back. Season for
Yep.
the Heat tip off tomorrow, so we're gonna get down to business and see how these boys look.
For sure. Last and most certainly not least, Tiffany, how are you feeling today?
Feeling good. In good company. Let's get it done.
Let's do it. So the Heat wrapped up what is now being generally regarded as the best preseason in Miami Heat history. And on tomorrow, we got games. We got the Milwaukee Bucks coming in here. And they played last night. To be perfectly honest, I didn't see shit that scared me from what I was watching last night. But Toine, going into tomorrow night, how are you feeling about the Heat's overall season outlook?
Overall, I'm really excited. I think we're probably gonna get off to a little bit of a slow start. You know, getting our feet wet and everything like that, getting the ball rolling. But I'm looking forward to this season. I think this team can win a whole lot of games, surprise a whole lot of people. Tomorrow, I'm scared of that game. Because that boy Giannis, if he hitting fadeaway middies, we in trouble fast. So, but other than that,
Boy, look comfy.
he look real comfy. So I'm scared about that. But other than that, bro, we good.
Yeah, Giannis's game definitely has expanded a little bit based off of what we saw yesterday. It's the rest of that team though. Don't scare me quite like it did last year. Who in the Miami Heat will win a fight versus Giannis 1-on-1? You feeling savage? Alex, of course, Bam will get that boy them hands. Tiffany, how you feeling about the season after what you saw from the preseason and what you saw yesterday from Giannis? Them?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good about this team. The one thing I will say, listen, sometimes players just eat. What you got to do is you got to let everybody else stay hungry. So Giannis is gonna eat. You're not stopping him, right? Because we see that. Like, dude is barreling through the basket. He's knocking people down. He's hitting the fadeaway. He's hitting the three. He's doing everything. So you know what? Good for him. Let him eat. And what you got to do, you got to stay home on those shooters. Like, I wouldn't double him. I'd say, you know what? All right, your turn, Bam. All right, your turn, Pete. And just keep rotating people. Stay home on the shooters. You can't let those boys get hot, because if they get hot from downtown, it's going to be a long night.
Yeah, and I think we're one of the teams that's most equipped to deal with playing Giannis in that style, especially considering that we have Bam Adebayo, because that was one of the biggest strengths for us when we beat them in the playoffs 2 seasons ago. Kendall, how you feeling about everything after what you saw from the preseason, and what are you feeling about tomorrow night's game?
Well, about after the preseason, I like what I saw. The team definitely gelled a little quicker than I expected them to. And the best thing that I saw was growth from Tyler and Bam, as well as Kyle Lowry running at pace. So I just hope that that's able to transition with Jimmy being acclimated and playing more minutes. I just hope that they'll be able to keep getting up and down on the court. As far as tomorrow game, I'm not really too worried about Giannis because Bam usually does a good job on him. I think Middleton is the guy who always eats against us. Like, Middleton be giving us buckets. But I don't think Drew is going to play tomorrow. So I'm expecting a W because they weakened a little bit. And, like, I don't fear nobody on that bench. I think outside of Giannis and Middleton, they ain't really have nobody makes me like, oh, we got to be worried about this guy. So hopefully no random scrub heat killer gets born, aka Grayson Allen or Jordan Nwara or whatever the fuck his name is. So hopefully no new births tomorrow. And we just handle our business because I'm definitely expecting to win if Drew Holiday don't play.
Yeah, it's always one that comes the fuck out of nowhere that just kind of tear ass up in these games. But I kind of want to spend a little bit of time on this point here because one of the things that we didn't really get to see is how the Heat would deal with size in the preseason. And that's been a big point of Alex Toledo talking about how that's what he wants to see because he feels like that could potentially be the downfall of one of his teams. So we're going to go in reverse order. Kendal, how do you predict that Miami is going to deal with the size of Milwaukee tomorrow?
You can't. You just box out because ain't nobody going to get taller. And then on the defense, ain't nobody going to get taller. We just need wide body PJ to put his backside on Brook Lopez so we can grab rebound and team rebound. And as far as offense is concerned, Bam gonna have to shoot the jumper because the drop is coming. And Tyler, he showed that little floater, so I want to see that in the game too. Like when they drop on him, put that floater up.
Greek cheats getting clapped tomorrow night. Shut up, Christian. Tiffany, how do you see the Heat dealing with Milwaukee's size tomorrow?
Well, I think on the defensive end, the best thing that ever happened was adding a key offensive player. So with adding Lowry, what that does is it gives Bam the opportunity to stay into the paint. So not only would we have PJ in there boxing out, now you can say, okay, Bam, you got to hit the boards because he doesn't need to necessarily switch out onto the guards now. Because you've got Kyle out there, you've got Jimmy who can do work up there. Duncan's looking better on defense. So, in essence, you would hope Bam and PJ would be able to hold their own on the boards. And it's not about, being taller. You just play bigger. You're boxing out. You're getting in good position. You're getting your arms up. And in that case, they can also draw some fouls and kind of slow the game down. Because realistically, they can't run the whole game. So by getting in the paint and doing a little dirty work on both ends of the court, they can slow it down just a tad bit. And by doing that, you slow down Giannis and you prevent him from getting into the open court.
For sure. Toine, I'm going to spin this to you a little bit because Tiffany mentioned the way that Miami is going to play defense in terms of us not having to switch on the perimeter as much. And they've talked about it on 5 on the floor where Bam is going to be able to play much more of the drop because of the way that Kyle is able to get over screens. Does us being able to play more drop lend itself to us having a better rebounding chance against them? Like, are we going to end up in a position that possibly helps us?
I mean, schematically, it helps a ton because, like, obviously Bam is closer to the rim, like everybody said, but you can't teach tall. So it's still going to be an issue, especially if PJ is going to take the Brook assignment, which I imagine he does for at least spurts. I don't think Bam's going to guard Giannis the whole game because that's a lot to deal with, but I imagine PJ takes the Brook assignment, so he's gonna have to do his work early. Try to avoid Brook getting deep post position, so he's able to get on the defensive glass and stuff like that. So hopefully everything works out like it's supposed to. But as far as like just being in position, I think they'll be in position, but you can't teach tall. So
yeah, somebody was asking if Drew Holiday was probable or questionable for tomorrow. And I think Welch, who I hate his fucking guts, to be honest with you. But he said that that he's probable. With Drew out, that has to be a good sign for Miami, right, Kendal?
Absolutely, because that means that our guards won't be hounded. And they can actually get a little space and do a little work on the offensive end.
Yeah. Motivated PJ. I don't think motivated PJ is going to be the biggest factor in this game tomorrow. Like, I'm not sure if PJ Tucker is going to be what helps us. I'll post this to
shoot more threes in the corners, bro. Like he's
right,
he's gonna take nobody out the dribble.
If he try, if he try, I want his ass because
I'm out.
I seen it in that preseason. That boy, no, we ain't doing that.
Bro, that bitch put the ball on the floor, bro. I'm trading his ass back to Milwaukee. That's it, bro. It's over with. I don't want him.
Nah, knee how. Wong Dong Tigers.
Right, go out there with Jeremy Lin. So Tiffany, with that being said, like, what do you kind of see as Miami's biggest advantage going into tomorrow's game? Like, what can we kind of like hang our hat on versus Milwaukee in this game?
I mean, the same thing we should have hung it on last year. Bam. Bam is always your big advantage going into every single game. He could do it on both ends of the court. And Bam is, when he's on, he's pretty much unstoppable. So who's going to guard him tomorrow? So let's say Lopez guards him. Then you're going to bring him out away from the basket, right? I would.
Or
He's
that's
7
what we'd
feet
hope.
tall.
We'd hope.
He's 7 feet tall. So I'd bring him out, face him up, and then you go to work. Because if you face him up, guess what? Somebody should be cutting on one side. Somebody should be in the corner on the other side. And there's always should be a trailer behind you. So that's your biggest advantage. Get him away from the basket, pull him out, force him to guard you. Because if you hit that first jumper, then guess what happens? He has to step up. He steps up. I would send Jimmy right to the basket every single time.
Oh, for sure.
Because they're going to foul Jimmy. Nobody there is going to outmuscle Jimmy, get into the basket.
Yeah, I want to let you know, Tiff, I love you, but you dead ass wrong. Tyler Hero is our biggest advantage, as always, because that boy is, you see what he said, he's now taking the Steph leap. Okay? I've been saying this has been coming for a year. You should have listened to me.
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you what your biggest advantage is. I'm just telling you how you gonna listen. You're gonna negate all that size if they have to guard Bam.
Oh, for sure.
If they have to step out and guard Bam, your back door is open.
My back door ain't never open, Tiffany Meeks. Don't talk to me like that. I don't play them type of games. Thank you, Christian Carters, for the $1.99 dono. He said, binging, what it is? Binging you, the life of Alana Tower. I don't know. I think Alana's covering the Bulls tonight. Toine, what's Miami's biggest advantage tomorrow?
I agree with Tiff. That is Bam. With the way Milwaukee plays defense, it's naturally the shots that Bam likes to take in the spots that he likes to take are going to be there, just like they were in the playoffs. The problem with Bam in the playoffs was, number one, he wasn't taking them, and then number two, when he did take them, he wasn't confident and didn't hit them. Now with this aggressive Bam that we've been seeing in the positions that he wants to get the ball, where he's comfortable getting the ball, him being aggressive, not being scared to go blow past Brook Lopez if he plays up, not being scared to shoot that little mid-range jump shot that he shot all preseason. Fine. Like the shots are going to be there for Bam. If Bam is aggressive, then this shouldn't be a game because Bam is going to be the biggest mismatch on the floor, not named Giannis. So it's going to be Bam.
I agree, like in my heart of hearts. I really love Tyler Hero, and I want to talk about him. Yell his name from the rooftops.
Your white son.
You know it. My white nephew, man. My white nephew Tyler Duncan out there, man. I got some Caucasian in my blood. Kendal, what's the biggest advantage Miami got tomorrow?
The biggest advantage that we have is that we haven't played yet. Milwaukee coming off the high of getting their ring. You know, they saw their little banner drop. They had their little iced out jerseys with the gold on it. So we should come in there hungry. You know, I'm expecting it because that's what this team is built off of. So they should go in there and just like smack Milwaukee in the mouth, to be honest. But from like a basketball standpoint, I agree with Tiff. Bam and his speed against Brook Lopez, if that's what I think they're gonna put on Bam to begin, because you don't want to get Giannis in foul trouble. And I would love to see that dribble handoff that we saw like a couple of times with Lowry actually bringing the ball up and Bam coming in receiving the ball, and all that space you could just clear out one side, like and just run it and just let him have all that space one side of the court to just do whatever he chooses to do to Brook Lopez. And really try to attack him. So that's, I think, our biggest advantage. It is Bam. It's time for him to take the reins and just be our lead dog.
Yeah. So, in theory, I agree with you all. Like, of course, we all agree with Tiff because she's usually right about these types of things. But in theory, I agree with you all. Like, Bam should be our biggest advantage. I guess my real question is, will he be? Like, we've had the same.
Somebody clip that.
So I like, okay, Damn, Ben, you know, make me lose my train of thought, bro. Yeah, Bam should be our biggest advantage, but that was the same thing last year. Bam should have been our biggest advantage in most of the games that we played. He just wasn't. So, if not Bam, if we get one of those games that's been making us pull our hair out, where Bam isn't aggressive, and I don't want to spend all day talking about that because I'm pretty sure we're going to have points in the season where we're all going to get our opportunity to take that shot. If Bam isn't as aggressive as we think he should be, who steps up? Who takes us home in that case? I guess the question is Jimmy or Kyle.
I go with Tyler. Because you know what you're going to get from Jimmy. Let's be realistic. Jimmy's going to give you whatever he can. I'm not even worried, questioning, thinking about it. But Tyler is the X factor because he's the scorer off the bench. Like, who else on the bench can just walk in and drop 15 to 20? Easy.
Me, other than that.
The Dwayne Dedman. You hear me?
So it's like that's you know, yeah, Bam is the catalyst and all these things, but you're going to need Tyler to show up like he's been showing up. And it has to be consistent. It has to be night in and night out. For instance, I don't even know who's on the Bucks bench, which means he should get into that soft part of the lane and just drop that floater, drop that fadeaway, and just get buckets.
I think their equivalent of Tyler would be Bobby Portis. Like he's their scorer off the bench, though, Tiff.
Yeah.
Like they really don't have anybody kind of Tyler's ilk. So I think that's an advantage for Miami in terms of just having bench scoring. But Toine, is Tyler that guy for you, or do you see it being Jimmy or Bam? I mean Jimmy or Kyle.
I think it's a mixture of both. Probably more so Tyler, just because he's going to be going up against who knows, because George Hill more than likely starting in Drew Holiday's place. So who's the guard that's going to be defending him at the point of attack? He's going to be running them through screens, getting scrambles and everything like that. But I think it's on Kyle as well, because Kyle is pretty much going to set the pace. He's going to be the guy who's been in the Milwaukee defense, who's getting other guys in the actions and everything like that, getting everybody comfortable to where they can actually go up against this juggernaut of whatever this Milwaukee defense is going to be.
Damn, bro, you are
that boy in his bag. He in his bag for real.
Yeah, Ben Stead is bad. Kendal, same question, G.
It has to be Jimmy for me. I expect a big game. I mean, because this is the same team that swept his ass off the floor and he got outscored by Brent Forbes. That just left a bad taste in my mouth when it comes to Jimmy and where he was at. And we know he's gonna play hard. Like, that's not a question. He just has to produce. If Bam is not that guy leading us tomorrow, it's gonna have to be Jimmy.
Dom said that Pat last night was a score off the bench as well as Noir. Is he talking about Pat Connaughton?
Yeah,
I hope so.
He was hitting some threes.
Oh, if he took Rodney Hood.
I hope Rodney Hood is on the court tomorrow.
I hope he plays.
I hope he plays
5 minutes.
These the motherfuckers who coming off the bench. Sign me up, Toine.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Sign me up.
Yeah, I'm on that, bro. Like, I like that. Let's pivot to somebody who we ain't talked about yet. Let's talk about Duncan. I'm of the mindset that I believe Duncan is going to take a step back in terms of his production, but not his effectiveness on the court. I believe he's still going to have the same role in terms of being our gunner in the starting lineup, but in terms of like how many opportunities he's going to get, that's going to go down dramatically because more of those will be going to Bam and Jimmy because of Kyle. Am I crazy to think that, Tiff, or is that like how you see it going to?
So it's funny you bring this up. Siobhan and I have been talking about this. Here's the thing. I don't think his opportunities are going to go down. His opportunities are different. So if you noticed in the preseason, he got the threes, obviously, the open looks. But what he isn't seeing is that he has the 15-foot jump shot open at all times. Like, they're not playing him for it. They're laying off of him. The one dribble pull up is right there.
I was about to ask, are you talking about off of the dribble pull up, or are you just talking about just like catch and shoot?
Well, even off the catch and shoot, that soft area was open all preseason, and he never Never thought about shooting it, never thought about putting it down for, I think maybe once I saw him put it on the floor, but it's there. So he may not get as many 3-point opportunities, but he's got a lot of opportunities to score. What he's just going to have to do is at some point, he's got to get comfortable and he's going to have to say, fuck it. And he's going to have to start letting it fly from closer. He's going to have to do more cutting because the reality is, even if he takes a step back in production, this team won't be successful if that starting position is only giving you 8 points, 10 points. That's not enough. So he also needs to get to the line. So he's got to be more creative in just reminding himself he's a shooter. Shooters shoot from anywhere on the court. You're not just a 3-point specialist. You're a $1 million man, which means shoot it when you got it.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting concept because if you think about it, that's where Tyler's been eating from in this preseason is that mid-range area, and just with the way that the game is played now, it's not being guarded. You guard 3-pointers and layups, and you need that whole. There's a wealth of space in between that's there for both Duncan and Tyler. Where are you on Duncan and how he'll be used and where he'll be, Toine?
So I agree with Tiff. I think his looks will just be different. We saw.
Yeah, y'all gonna have to give me something other than I agree with Tiff. Bro.
Listen, can I make my point, sir?
Yeah, I know she's right, bro, but think of something else, bro.
All right, can I rock, bro?
Okay, go ahead, bro.
All
My
right.
bad, bro.
We saw in the preseason he was taking dudes off the dribble, like legitimately. If he closed out, they closed out too hard. He's taking dudes off the dribble. Last season, like Ariel said in the comments, he was pretty much the offense. Like everything was surrounded around the Duncan Robinson dribble handoff, and if that got blown up, it got real ugly. So, it's going to be way different this year because the offense isn't based around him. Mm-hmm. Now he's just going to be. I mean, he's more than a shooter, obviously, because he can do other things, but he's going to be. We got to take him into consideration, which is going to leave other things open. So now it's more of the threat of him shooting versus him actually shoot. And then when he does get his chances, I think it's going to be more so off catch and shoot, less movement shooting like he got all last year, less stuff ran specifically for him. In terms of like every offensive possession, he was the main trigger of the offense. So yeah, I think his looks will look a lot different, but he'll still be just as effective just because of his gravity.
Yeah, Kendal, I'm gonna flip it on you because I want you to talk some about his offense, but I want you to talk about defensively. If you see that if you have seen him take any steps in that direction, that'll kind of help him earn more consistent minutes, especially considering that he might get different looks and might not be the same weapon offensively.
It's funny that you say that, Kane, because honestly, that's exactly where I was going with my answer. I was gonna flip it to the defensive side. I have seen improvement from Duncan in the terms of like his positioning. Like I don't expect him to keep people out of the lane, but he keeps his body in front of the person he's defending as the primary defender. And he's always in his help defense is good enough. I think I'm expecting him to be a plus defender this year, and just not get bullied around because I mean this is he's going into his third season of fully playing, so he should definitely understand like where to be, what's going to come, and like reading offensive from the defensive perspective, especially a guy who runs around the court so much. So like you're seeing different things. Like I'm really expecting him to be a better defender than what we've seen in the past.
Yeah, me too. I think. Excuse me, my throat got a little hoarse for a second. But I think we saw him make strides in that shit last year, like in terms of being able to hold his own, just being a better positional defender. And I think he takes.
When the buzzer beater against not the buzzer beater, but the clutch shot that Middleton hit on him in game 1, like. He was all over him. Like he was right up under him. It was great defense. He just hit a better shot. He just hit a shot. So
some people worried about that in the comments. They're asking if Duncan to hold up versus Middleton, but Middleton he's not a random scrub heat killer. He's just a heat killer though. Like bro gonna chew our ass up tomorrow. Like I think
he that boy when it comes to us. Yeah.
We do a better job on Giannis than we do on fucking Middleton for some reason.
No, yeah, exactly. That's what I said earlier. I'm more worried about Middleton going off. He's like Terrence Ross times 3.
Mm-hmm. Bro, first of all, don't you dare talk about the random scrub heat killer Jordan like that, boy. Terrence Ross is a bucket against Miami. Fuck is you talking about? Like, but I want to get some. I want to get some more into Tyler though, because like, look, everybody's seen the outburst. Everybody's seen the growth. Everybody's seen the body being changed. And yeah, I've been playing around with the whole Tyler thing, but I want to know for real, is that shit legitimately sustainable? Like, do we believe what Tyler has done in the preseason is going to hold up throughout the course of the season? Because personally, I'm not expecting it, bro. Like, I'm just gonna be real. The regular season about to start. I'm gonna quit lying to y'all. I do not expect Tyler Hero to be able to maintain this throughout the course of the season, but I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Tiff?
Right. Well, it's interesting because this is like the trajectory that you want to see young players on. So
Yeah.
this is supposed to be the year where he does like not his peak, but it's like that level to the peak.
His floor, I guess you could say.
Right.
This should be his floor series.
Right. So we
season.
should be seeing that this season. And it should be sustainable. I think the idea where I get worried is that heavy usage on him. Just because he's young, I don't know if his body could sustain the heavy usage. And the usage would be fighting through the screens and the defense and all those things, but also because he's a player that gets his own bucket 90% of the time. So he's doing a lot of dribbling. He's doing a lot of fading away. He's doing a lot of things. So it may be hard for him to sustain it the whole year, but here's the reality of it. He also needs to be between 15 to 20 points a night to keep the offense moving. Because, my man, Illinois' finest, Max Strus, I'm hoping puts on for us this year. But, like, Tyler's got to be that dude. You're the sixth man. You're coming off the bench, and you got the green light. So, if it's not sustainable, then we won't see him after the, trade deadline. Let's be realistic.
Yeah, I think I want to make sure that I clarify. That's interesting that you said something about trading because they were having a conversation. You made me just shift completely what I want to talk about. But when they were talking about trading, Pat Riley, there's a known thing between Pat Riley and Spo about Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson is a Spo guy, and Pat is pretty meh on Duncan Robinson. But Duncan Robinson has the money. If we're going to look to trade somebody, Duncan Robinson has the money. Duncan Robinson has the money to make a deal like that work. So
along with Tyler.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about transactions too early in the season, but I just want to put that bug out there. Like, that might be some shit. I want to get back to Tyler though. I want to stick on him for a second because I want to clarify when I'm talking about consistency. I don't expect Tyler Hero. Even I'm not saying that he can't have a bad game. Like everybody has bad games. I expect them fully from Tyler Hero. What I'm saying is that they need to level out with the good games. Last year, the bad games kind of piled on top of each other for extended stretches. We cannot have that. And to the point, they've moved everything out of his way. So now he's the main guy off the bench. There's no more Goran. There's no more Kendrick. They set it on 5 on the floor. There are no more excuses that you can put in either him or Bam's way. Toine, do you see Tyler being able to take that next step and kind of being more consistent in the role that he's been given now?
I mean, this may be some preseason gas, but I really think he can. Like, I've been meaning to say this for a minute. Tyler in the preseason, he was so intentional about like what spots he wanted to get to. He read the defense when they started helping. He knew where to throw the pass at. Like he was making corner skip passes with regularity. Like he saw it every time. Like he's able to get to his mid-range jump shot. He knows if he want to get to the floater, if he want to step back and do his little his little fadeaway jump shot, he knows when he can go for the pull-up. Like he was so intentional in everything that he was doing. And that's the type of stuff that can translate. That's the stuff that, it's not based on is he hitting one night. He's getting to his spots. If he hits, he hits. If he doesn't, he doesn't. That's any NBA player. But what we're seeing from Tyler is that he's doing it consistently. It's not a sometimes on, sometimes off thing. He's doing it consistently and he's able to get to those spots. And I said this on Twitter. If he learns how to make passes and pick and roll, like pocket passes, he can be our lead ball handler. I don't care because he's been that good. When it comes to like reading defenses, reading where help is coming from, he can be that good. I really believe that.
I mean, but who did we play though?
I never want to silence a black man like that. But
no, I understand who we played. Obviously, it was lesser competition, but in terms of where your reads are going to come from, that the reads are typically going to be the same when it comes to NBA defenses because most NBA defenses play the exact same.
No, Twan Ellis,
except there's better talent. What do you mean? No?
I mean, no, Tyler Hero will never be our lead ball handler.
Yeah,
I don't want to
hell
entertain that. Don't take this conversation out there because you're gonna have these Twitter fucks out here saying that type of shit, and they're gonna make my head explode, bro. I don't want to hear that, Toine, and I cannot hear it coming from you, bro.
You're right, bro.
You
I'm
suspended,
saying
bro.
he
You're
can though.
You're not gonna be
He
on the
can.
show next week, bro. It's over with, bro. We're kicking this man out. Kendall, you see anything from Tyler that lets you think that this could be sustained all season long?
The only thing that I see is the mid-range, the manipulation, and getting to his spots. If that can be consistent, wait, it's a Jared Jack.
Yeah, bro. They've been calling me Jared Jack for a couple weeks now, and that shit's pissing me off, bro. I do not look like this man, bro.
That's so accurate, though.
Hey, y'all go with the all black people looking like shit, bro. Y'all, I expected better from y'all, Kings. I did not know that I'll be treated like this in the presence of my own.
I just read a comment, my man. No, but if Tyler can manipulate the mid-range area and get to his spots, I think it can be sustainable. Because me personally, I've always said it, and my brother and them Threat can attest to it, that I've always said, why doesn't Tyler look for his mid-range shot more? You know, I think he's a better mid-range shooter than he is three-point shooter. And you say, is this sustainable? I mean, it better be. I mean, he can have 13, if he's here all year, 13 to 15 mad games. Everything else, you got to be 6 man of the year type performances, because like I'm a type of person, like when you jump out on that ledge and you say, you know, I want to be in this class, this. If that's what you think about, you setting that expectation for me as a fan. So now I'm following what you're saying. So his ass better ball or not. I got the U-Haul already on standby. It's been there since that 37-point game in the bubble. And I will send that shit right down to Biscayne, wherever the hell I got to send it. So he better ball.
All expenses paid. I got the gas can, bro. We ain't going to have you financial literacy.
One way.
Here, bro. You feel me? Hey, bro, I got it. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I want to talk about. Tiff, what you want to talk about?
Well, I was just going to say, the reality is they don't have a dynamic scorer. So they need him to score. Yeah. You know, this is it. Like we've got players that can score, but we ain't got bucket getters. There's a huge difference between having players that can score and having somebody that says, we down 10, give it to me. And they can give it to you any kind of way. They can give it to you inside, outside, pull up for the three, pull up for the mid-range, take it to the cup, post up. We don't have a dynamic score. So technically, if you really look at it, Tyler is the dynamic scorer on this team because he gets buckets in bunches. So they're going to, I mean, for them to be successful, somebody's going to have to do it, whether it be a starter or a bench player. And to me, that person is Tyler.
Oh, sure. I don't like Tyler being our bucket getter. I don't like the idea of it. It makes me sick to my goddamn stomach. I don't know, bro. It's something about it makes me squirm, bro. Like it's like
the lack of athleticism. There's nothing above the rim.
Yeah,
craftiness. If y'all see where I'm going.
Yeah, sneakily athletic. You know what I'm saying?
First guy in.
Yeah.
Last guy out.
Pretty fly for a white guy face ass out here. Listen, bro. I think that's what it is, bro. Like I get it. I've seen the growth in Tyler's game. I like the thing that I've liked most is the weight that he's put on has allowed him to be stronger with the ball and stronger just as a player overall. And I believe that lends itself, my boy Juan in the comments, gang. I got to do the extra yard after this. But yeah, that lends itself to him being more productive in terms of finishing around the rim. I guess my gripe is, bro, like that mental part of the game is still there. Like he seems to be in a much better place mentally. I think that's more what I'm worried about being sustainable. Because last year we saw pockets of time where he was in and out of the game, and sometimes he gonna shoot that damn transition three, bro. He's gonna do it, and I'm going to.
That
lose
drives
my
me. That drives
Oh, I hate
me.
Bro, listen, bro. That's that one thing that he does, bro. Is like every time I'm trying, bro, he do it too. Like
you see it coming. You see it coming. Like once he gets to the break, from before half court, you see it. It's like,
and it's like three. He gets like 3 feet. He gets like 3 feet before the 3-point line, and then you see this real quick.
Oh my God!
Look, now,
Yo,
look,
the
in and
feet
out
start
burger.
shuffling.
And every time I'm looking at you, I was like, "You better fucking not." Don't you? And he just do it, bro.
It's that one again he hit against Philly. The one he
Oh,
hit
Yeah,
against
God.
Philly.
because you're like,
It set a
no,
standard for him.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like it's that one. I was like that with that one too, bro. I was like, "What the fuck is this child doing? Like, stop it!" Like, but-
Whose son is this?
right. Who? Somebody come get this white man off the court, please. Like this. That's what. I'm sorry. I'm really only kind of racist, not the whole thing. But I want to talk about something else, bro, because I don't want to talk about it. Let's talk about the 4th position because that's been a position that's kind of been like having people like, we might have thought we had it in the offseason. Like when we first acquired these guys, PJ Tucker and Markieff Morris. Well, PJ more than Markieff. We might have thought we had something, but now it's like this might hurt. Toine, are you confident in the people that we got?
I'm just praying they're good enough to make it to the playoffs where we can cut down the rotation because it's gonna be scary hours when that bench unit come in and Uncle D and brother Markieff walk in the game. And if I see one more Markieff drive to the rim, dump off pass to Dwayne Dedman, who can't catch it, he fumbles it. It's a turnover and they run it down in transition. I don't want to see it no more. I'm so scared. But if we can make it to the playoffs, we good. The regular season, it's going to be nasty hours. I'm scared.
Yeah, I think that's a point that everybody made. This is built like a playoff team. So we're a playoff team and not necessarily a regular season team. But we got to use the regular season to kind of find
get there.
Yeah, we got to get there. You know what I'm saying? Tiff, how you feeling about that power rotation?
I mean, we know what PJ's going to do. He's going to play hard. He's going to miss a lot of threes. He's going to make some when we least expecting it. But, man, left Twix, I don't know. Because that combo with him and Mr. Dedman, that shit like an EKG. It go like this.
Yo, that shit. Like, bro, like it's like sometimes like you can see the potential there. I don't know who this is in the background. Somebody just jumped in here and jumped out, but that's you can see the potential in that. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes Markieff making that little pass to him, but then he tries to throw lobs to Mr. Dedman, bro.
Lobs.
Lobs.
He's 6.
But they not lobs because they hit in the front of the rim.
In the rim. They bullets.
I'm telling you.
They shooting.
They shooting when them PJ threes come from them corners.
Bro, does he shoot that shit from his ear? Like that shot me. Like,
it come out like a missile.
I'm telling you, bro. He flinging that
It's
shit.
like, but when he shoot it, off the release, it got a chance of getting over the rim. And it looked
I'm so much more energetic when I talk about the Heat versus the fans. That Miami Dolphin shit, some depressing shit to talk about. Boy, I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
Don't even bring me down tonight.
Hey man, I'm sorry we had to do it to you, dog. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to hear it. I ain't come here to work, motherfucker. I ain't come here to work.
We can bring it back. Kendal, how confident are you in our power forward rotation?
it ain't much power in there, my brother. Like, ain't too much power. It's a little bullying, them little bully tactics, but I don't think that's gonna work too much against some of these young boys in the league because they don't care about all that shit.
You remember I used to have them football players that played basketball in high school? Like they play both sports. That's essentially what we got at power forward. Like they ain't coming in there to do nothing skillful.
Nothing.
They coming in there to fire the hell out.
They just trying to scare you. The only hope, it's only 2 hopes on offense when it comes to them two. Them corner missiles coming from North Korea. And I'm okay when they get a switch and Markieff Morris is in the post on the small. Like that's what he looks like.
How you
NBA
okay
player.
with that though? First of all, he's catching the ball too high to be in the post because then when he catches it so high, my man got to take like 8 dribbles.
But I just know he ain't hitting. I know he ain't hitting the 3. So I just gotta hope.
He out there like
that off.
No,
we can get,
he out there looking like
make
Stanley. He out there looking like Stanley trying to post.
I dribble, but I think, but even still though, like if they mentioned this on the pod, and I kind of want to bring it here to this space because I believe we'll do it better. But they mentioned how if you view Markieff as a floor spacer, like a 3-point shooter, then you're going to be disappointed in that. And I think this was Nikias Duncan who said this. But if you like that mid-range shot, he can hit that.
He can hit that. Yeah,
he can hit that. And if you view him as somebody who operates in that area, then Heat fans would be a lot less disappointed in the returns on Markieff. But if you're looking at it, if you're thinking like he's going to be somebody that's going to hit threes consistently, this ain't that.
No, which means he should be playing the 5. But
well, he could be the small ball 5.
Yeah,
but
who?
But ain't Bam the small ball 5?
Well,
I wouldn't put
technically a 5.
Right, but Bam is technically a small ball 5 too because he can serve the purpose of a small ball 5.
Yeah, but if you're going up against Brooklyn, and you got like James Johnson coming off the bench playing the 5, then you can live with some Markieff Morris minutes there.
I think even LaMarcus Aldridge too.
Well, yeah.
Because there could be. Well, here's the thing: if you went with your second unit and you went small 5, so instead of running Deadman for those 3 minutes, you could run Keith at the center.
I was thinking about this. You could have a lineup of like Markieff, Jimmy, Strus, Tyler, and
Omar.
Insert point guard. Or Omar, yeah.
You know why? He ain't strong enough yet.
No, that motherfucker ain't gonna play.
He not strong enough yet.
It's his feet in the dirt, in the sand. Not dirt.
Even without the mobility, physically, he's not strong enough yet. Like you see some of those videos. You see some of those videos where PJ is just like elbowing him out of the space. Like that's not gonna work.
That's what Ariel said. That dude is slower than erosion. Damn. But no, like I'm with it. Like I don't think, like I think in theory, Omer would be an ideal big to put next to Markieff Morris. Somebody who can shoot, somebody who can rebound, and somebody who can kind of cover. But this ain't that. Like he's just not it.
No. Well, in theory, he's the perfect big next to Bam.
Yeah.
With the skill set that he has, he's the perfect person next to Bam. But he's not ready for that.
No, and I don't think he's going to be ready for a couple of years. I think he's just going to be a backup. Like somebody said, KZ need to be coached by Glenn Rice. KZ needs to be coached. KZ needs to be coached by Dwayne Casey. He make you depressed.
Ship him to Detroit.
Bro, listen, bro. KZ got you with the mental health disorder out here, man.
He got me picking up a prescription. That's how sad I am.
Yo, KZ has been very disappointing, and it's like, I think I said this before. Like, I don't think I'm going to throw him away yet because he's cheap, and it's like you're not going to get anything back for him. No, you might as well see if you can season him up and see if you can get something out of that.
He got 6 fouls. He got 6 fouls. I mean,
by the time we're putting you in before that boy.
I want Bad Twin 2.0 in before I want KZ in.
Oh, Martin.
What's his name?
Caleb Martin.
Oh yeah. I don't know the difference. But yeah, Martin. I'd rather my boy Martin get in there and get some run before KZ.
That's a damn shame because KZ.
Yeah,
I've been holding out hope, but it ain't.
He just don't.
Mine was gone once that summer league. That summer league, this summer league right here. Like I wasn't mad at him for last year because it was like nobody had an off season. Like how was he gonna get better? But once he didn't,
I was mad.
Nothing in the summer league. I was like, yeah.
He got worse.
The thing about summer league is that if you have players, second and third year players that are on your summer league team, they cannot be just one of the guys. Right. They have to stand out. Like Strus, when he was on that team, Strus stood out. Like as in he's taking a step. He's definitely one of them.
Off and just hit a game winner. Like
come on, man. But we got none of that from KZ. KZ was just doing KZ things.
You know what KZ gives? Have you ever seen that second Wreck-It Ralph when he leaves the game and all the games are fucked up and just glitching out of control?
What KZ a glitch? What KZ a glitch out here, man? Let's talk about some of the people who actually go get on the court though, because I mean, honestly, I don't expect the Markieff Morris thing to work out as the backup 5 because I think Dedmon has to lose that position. Or like,
Well, yeah, that's his.
Yeah, that's Dedmon's position. So I kind of want, you know what? Fuck that. I want to talk about this.
That's right up my alley, baby.
I want to talk about that a little bit because there was a report that came out that said if John Wall, and I think it was it David Aldridge who said it?
Yeah.
But it was like if John Wall is bought out by the Houston Rockets, then he didn't even give another team. He was saying Miami.
Right.
Yeah, he just said Miami.
Tiff, John Wall to Miami. I thought so.
Give it to me, baby.
Give it to me.
Give it to me, baby. Hey.
Let me tell y'all something. You know, that man can't shoot worth of shit, but
He can run.
exactly. He can call. He
keep
gonna
that
cause
pace.
havoc. He gonna get to the bucket. He gonna pass. He's gonna try on defense, and that's what you need. I'm sorry, but no people who don't want this don't know basketball. If you trying to win, and this man is bought out for free $99, you take him. Look at what you could have coming off your bench. You could potentially. What was that?
No, that was me moaning. That was me.
Yeah,
moaning.
I was about to say that was something different.
Listen.
Go ahead, girl. Say them names to me. Say them names.
This could be your bench. John Wall, Victor Oladipo, Tyler Hero, Left Twix, and Mr. Dedmon.
Oh, the bag man out of Sacramento.
That could be a starter.
Exactly.
That could be a
Put
starter.
PJ.
Well,
Put Brickhouse on the bench.
On the
and
bench?
have him, Brickhouse come off that bench.
Come on now, like this, like I like the name that we like. I've been on the Marvin Bagley thing for quite some time. Like I'm a fan of Marvin Bagley. Like I know he ain't been shit in the league, but I think there's a load of potential there that can't be tapped into because you're playing for the Sacramento Kings. They don't know how to do it. If you brought that boy over here, put some culture around him. But I want to stick to John Wall. Toine, we'll get to Marvin Bagley next because I want to talk about the way that you think he would fit in. But talk about John Wall, the potential fit here. Do you like it? Is it something that you want to stay away from?
Even if he's bad, I don't care. There is nothing that's going to be more fun than John Wall on this basketball team. But if he is good, or if he's what we saw in Houston last year, for example, we get him and Victor Oladipo coming off the bench. My God, ladies and gentlemen, and Tyler Hero. I don't play 3. I don't care. Play all the guards. We gonna run up the. We gonna be flying. You want to talk about pace?
yeah.
John Wall is a pace all to himself, and he gonna be making like $1 million. Oh, you want to talk? Sign me up. Get me John Wall.
He ain't gonna be making the million because them millions gonna be in them clubs, and that is fine with me.
He give it back to the local economy, bro. He give back to the local economy.
Small business supporter.
I don't care if he show up to the game with glitter on his forehead. Put him in.
I'm telling you.
8 minute mark, second quarter.
Put him in.
And I think the perception of John Wall is the injuries. Of course, that you want to stick there. But if you look at what he was doing with Houston last year, the man was still putting up double-digit assists and 20 points. Like that's
right.
And if he's willing to come here and play off of our bench for a chance to win a championship, bro, John Wall. We all talk about the potential, what we could have potentially if we got Victor Oladipo back. But you get John Wall now, like then you cooking with grease. But Kendal, I kind of wanted you to get your points in about John Wall too, bro. What thing most attracts you about John Wall coming here? Because I know you want him.
Oh yeah, you know me. I ain't never saying no to talent. I'm not too proud. We ain't. Who are we to say no to talent? You feel me? I mean, it excites. And John, he competes on defense, and he brings that extra. You know what I'm saying? He is an extra one too. He throw up his gang signs, and I like that. That boy, he done got into it with some guys out here. And like you guys said, the pace, and just another person to create for Bam. That just means if John comes within the first 10 games, Bam's assist should be around 2. because I don't want him running being no facilitator. At that point, you ain't even no primary facilitator. You might get more assists because we got some shooters here and there. But he should be focused on scoring. John can play the pick and roll with him, get him in positions, lobs, and all that good stuff. So he's a talent that would just make the talent that we want to see take a big leap. He would just help that. So it's like, why not?
Yeah, I think the biggest asset he has is his ability to pass. Like John Wall is a phenomenal passer of the basketball, and I don't think people get that enough credit. But I do want to kind of quickly touch on, because we're getting to the 50-minute mark here, so we're gonna wrap this up pretty soon. I do want to get to the Marvin Bagley thing though, and I'll go in the reverse order. Kendall, we'll start with you. Kendall, how are you feeling? Where are you on a potential Marvin Bagley acquisition?
Sacramento need to go ahead, buy him out, and we give him that vet minimum bag, like for the bag man. There's potential there. His three improved. I'm not gonna get too caught up in that because the last Sacramento player that we got was shooting 40% from three the last 2 years, and he came and started eating. But I think with the athleticism, we don't have a lot of that at our power forward rotation. So at least if we can add some athleticism with a young guy like that, and then that's just another guy who he could play all hustle. He can come here and play like Montrezl Harrell. They could just tell him that. Just go there and play hard, rebound, and that'll help our rebounding. That athleticism, rebounding, and just another big body to have down there.
Right.
Yeah. Antoine, do the injuries kind of scare you any?
I mean, a little bit, but it's not like we're paying him a ton of money. It's not really paying him anything.
It ain't our money anyways.
Exactly. So I mean, if he comes in and he's like injury prone and everything like that, we didn't expect to have him in the first place. So he's more of a luxury. Like he, at the very least, he's 6'11", can shoot a little bit, and athletic, can catch lobs and everything like that. We can take that. We can find something to do with that. Well, Spo can. We can't do anything, but like at the very least, he's young, athletic, and he's big. So we can take that on any team.
Tiff, final words on man.
Listen, free 99. He young. He can run the floor.
That boy can jump.
He can jump. I'm always looking for people who can alleviate pressure from Bam. So you can help rebound. You can help. You can help on defense. That's what they need. Like, we have, PJ, we have Markeith, but like we don't have a young horse that can just get out there and run alongside Bam. So they, that's what they need. At some point, they're gonna have to address that position, whether they do it 2 weeks from now or whether they do it at the deadline. But at some point, they have to address it.
Yeah. I want to acknowledge this because me and Kai and Michael Christian made a bet last night. He said that the Heat will be hovering around 500 around Christmas break. And I said, no, the fuck they won't. They're going to be probably at the number one seed. Fuck is you, Tim? But he don't believe me. So we put a little change on it. So
real quick. Could y'all imagine a transition of John Wall, Marvin Bagley, and Bam Adebayo just running the floor in transition, and then Tyler Hero takes a pull-up three?
Oh my God! Bitch, I'll bust my whole fucking TV on. That bitch be in pieces right here. So I ain't gonna do it to y'all boys today. I'll pay all the bills today because we got to run through it pretty quickly. So we want to thank Vertigear for these chairs that they gave us. Appreciate you and all your support. Easy to build. Link in the description. Make sure you check that out. Get your Vertigear chair. Bunch of different sizes.
Yo, Vertigear, send me a chair.
I'm telling you, send Tiffany Meeks a chair, even though they be talking shit about our chairs on Hangover Time. I be watching y'all. The fuck is you talking about?
That's the chat. The chat was killing your chair.
Yo, bro, when that man called me, I want to talk to y'all about something about Hangover Time right quick. Bro, in Hangover Time, I forgot what episode I was watching, bro. Somebody in their chat said that I'm the light-skinned Aunt Viv and that Alf is Aunt Viv, the original one. And at the end of the episode, the boy Alf did the dance, bro. Bro, when I tell you I was weak, bro, I was crying laughing out there, bro. I was crying laughing, bro. Oh man. That was one of the funniest shits I had ever seen in my life. Back to paying these bills. God, bro, I hate y'all so much, bro. I just want to put that out there. Make sure you also check out Manscaped. Manscaped, if your balls are hairy, you're nappy and shit, get you a Manscaped. They got the Lawnmower 4.0. Shave them balls up, man. Ladies, you can go ahead and use your Manscaped too. They give you draws too. So you might want to buy the performance package. Use the promo code 5RSN for 20% off and free shipping. Also want to thank our guys at Underdog Fantasy. Look, we're running some drafts right now. Me, Ethan, Greg have some best ball fantasy drafts going on Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code 5RSN. They give you a $10 deposit bonus or whatever. And you can just draft your team, leave it there all season long, come at the end, collect your money. That easy. So make sure you check out our Twitter feeds. Use Underdog Fantasy. Great product, all for us. If you want to get involved in the 5 Reasons Sports Network or with the Clutch Corner in particular, send Tiffany a DM and then she'll respond to you. So, as always, thank you guys in the comments for joining us, making the show much more fun than it would have been without you guys. Thank you to my guy Toine, my guy Kendal, and my dog Tiffany. Really appreciate you coming on here with us. So much fun. Love streaming. You appreciate having you as always. And
Thank you.
We'll see y'all hoes next time. And fuck them numbers, bro. Oh, wait. I can't tell nobody to play the video because I'm the fucking producer. This shit sucks.
Play the video, Royal.
Oh, play the video, Royal.
The boy done got a new cut. The boy feeling good.
I don't know.